What if the real American collapse wasn't happening in big cities, but in the forgotten corners of the countryside? Across the nation, small towns are vanishing. Schools are empty. Churches are locked. Main streets are boarded up. These aren't just ghost stories. This is the reality of rural America in 2025. Today, we reveal 10 American towns that are disappearing before our eyes, each one a powerful symbol of decline, abandonment, and survival. From toxic disasters to economic collapse, this is a haunting journey through what was, and what's left. Once a lively coal mining town, Centralia is now barely more than a name on a map. In 1962, a fire was accidentally lit in a coal seam beneath the town, and it never went out. Over the decades, poisonous gases seeped from the earth, roads cracked open, and sinkholes swallowed homes. By the 1980s, most of Centralia's residents were evacuated. The government declared it uninhabitable. Today, fewer than 10 people remain, defiant, living above the flames. Smoke still rises from the ground, and the town has become a bizarre tourist site for the curious. Pitcher was once a booming mining hub, producing over half the lead used during World War I. But success came at a deadly cost. Toxic waste piles called chat were left all over town. Children grew up with lead poisoning. The ground was unstable, entire neighborhoods threatened by sudden collapse. By 2006, Pitcher was declared unfit for habitation. A devastating tornado in 2008 was the final blow. Today, it's a toxic wasteland with eerie reminders of life, street signs, rusted swings, and forgotten memories. Gary was built by U.S. Steel and once housed 180,000 people. It was the American dream: strong unions, good jobs, thriving communities. But when steel jobs disappeared in the 1970s and 1980s, so did the people. White flight, crime, and neglect followed. Today, Gary's population is less than 70,000. Thousands of homes stand abandoned. Schools, churches, even theaters are left to decay. It's a city frozen in decline, once powerful, now a warning. Cairo sits at the confluence of the Mississippi and Ohio rivers. It was once a key port, full of wealth and promise. But decades of racial tension, civil unrest, and failed leadership pushed people away. Businesses shut down, homes fell into disrepair, and no new investment came. From a peak population of 15,000, Cairo now has fewer than 1,700 residents. It's a city that feels like a ghost town, haunted not by the supernatural, but by broken systems and lost opportunity. Deep in Appalachia, Packard was a town built on coal. For decades, mining gave families hope. But when coal collapsed, so did the town. Jobs disappeared, stores closed, schools emptied. With no other economy to fall back on, people left in search of work and survival. Now, Packard is nearly swallowed by the forest. Nature is reclaiming the place where miners once walked. It's a silent testimony to promises unfulfilled and energy policies that moved on. Bodie isn't a modern collapse, it's a historical one. A gold rush boomtown in the 1800s, Bodie once had 10,000 residents, dozens of saloons, and a wild frontier spirit. But by the early 1900s, the gold was gone, and so were the people. Today, Bodie is a state park, preserved in arrested decay. Furniture still sits in dusty homes. A piano still rests in a barroom. It's one of the best preserved ghost towns in the U.S., frozen in time for future generations. Glen Rio sits on the border of Texas and New Mexico and once thrived as a stop along Route 66. Travelers filled its motels, diners, and gas stations. But when the interstate bypassed the town in the 1970s, Glen Rio was forgotten. Businesses withered, residents moved on. Now, Glen Rio is empty, caught between two states and stuck in a time capsule. Rusted neon signs and collapsing roofs are all that's left of a once vibrant highway town. Thurmond was once a bustling coal town with its own bank, hotels, and one of the busiest train depots in the region. But like so many Appalachian towns, it suffered when coal declined. Railroads pulled out, stores shuttered, the town emptied. Today, only a few residents remain. The National Park Service maintains many of the buildings, preserving what's left. Thurmond is now more museum than town, quiet, surreal, and still standing. Detroit's story is one of both collapse and comeback, but not every part of the city has seen recovery. Entire districts of Detroit are still abandoned. Blocks with only one or two homes. Crumbling schools. Overgrown lots. Some neighborhoods resemble post-apocalyptic zones. The auto industry's fall, white flight, and years of political corruption led to widespread abandonment. While downtown Detroit is slowly rebuilding, parts of the city are still disappearing, house by house, block by block. In 2018, the Camp Fire tore through Paradise in Northern California. It was the deadliest wildfire in state history, killing 85 people and destroying 90% of the town. Paradise had been a peaceful mountain town, popular with retirees and families. But in just a few hours, everything was gone. Today, some residents are rebuilding. Others never came back. The town's future is uncertain, a symbol of how climate change is redrawing America's map. These towns aren't just stories, they're warnings. Warnings about what happens when industries collapse and governments look the other way. About environmental disasters, forgotten promises, and communities left behind. But they're also reminders of resilience, of memory, and of what matters most. The collapse of rural America isn't just happening out there, it's happening right now. And the question is, who's paying attention? If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's keep these stories alive, because even forgotten towns deserve to be remembered.